So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Trish Bender, the National Garden Club membership chairman, along with our awesome membership team of 9. And we are bringing you the second of a 4-part series called People, Plants, and Programs. This series, if you missed last month, can be found at gardenclub.org. And it's all about teaching you all about the opportunities that NGC provides to its members across the country and in our 19 affiliate countries to educate you, to expand your awareness, and to expand your skill level to do gardening, floral design, horticulture, landscape, and environmental studies. All of these things are interwoven. But today we are going to be concentrating specifically on Flower Show School. Most of you in the audience have already attended a flower show in your area or one of the big flower shows across the country, like Boston, Philadelphia, Florida, or even international, like the Chelsea Flower Show. Well, today we're going to be answering all your questions, hopefully, about how it is to become a flower show judge, how to put on a flower show, and where you can find out all the information you need to do any of these things. So to get us started, we have our National Garden Club president to give us our official February welcome. Madam President.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. And spring's around the corner. So we'll be able to get out there and plant our gardens so that you can plant your horticulture as well as your flowers for your design. So thank you to the Membership Monday team for doing this, and to the Flower Show School Committee. Your commitment to this is really appreciated. Enjoy.
I am thrilled to be sharing this all with you. I love doing all of these. The committee has been great, our membership team and committee. We look forward to welcoming you all and working with you on Membership Mondays. I'm lucky, I'm really excited we're doing this program. I am lucky enough to have been, actually, I'm now a consultant in all 4 schools. I have gone through all the schools, and I am thrilled that we are sharing this information with all of you. We look forward to all of your comments. Please put comments and questions in the chat. We will go through them and share them later. Right now, so I am thrilled to announce my friend Jan Warschauer, who is going to talk to us about Flower Show School. She's got lots of information to share, and I know you all welcome her as well as I do warmly, and we're happy you're here with us, Jan.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Robin, and thank you, Trish, for doing this Membership Monday program to highlight all the schools that NGC offers. We enjoy flower shows, as Trish said earlier, across the country, and it's something that National Garden Club has been involved with for, can I say it, 7 decades?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a wonderful program for our clubs and the public, because what is Flower Show School about? Well, it is how to teach Garden Club members to become judges. But it also is to teach clubs how to stage or hold a flower show. The first 5 chapters in the handbook are devoted to flower show work. And the next 5 are devoted to the 5 divisions in flower shows. So 2/3 of our handbook, we study flower shows. So before you even consider or might think about being a judge, it's important that you attend a flower show. As Trish says, many of us have, but there are some new members in our clubs that are not familiar with what flower show is and what it can provide to the public. You know, it's an educational opportunity. It's an outlet for our members to participate and be creative. It gives a lot of information to our members and to the public. So we highly recommend that anyone that's interested in becoming a judge, they attend a flower show, they participate in a flower show, they work on a flower show. It's all part of the education that goes into learning how to judge. There are basic design classes and horticulture programs that are important, possibly before you even attend flower show school. We do not teach how to make floral designs. That is something that is done as an adjunct to flower show, possibly through your garden club or through the Judges Council. And there are programs on workshops on horticulture as well. So it's up to the individual as to what they want to take out of any school. If it's just to learn how to do flower show work, that's a lot of what goes into the procedure part of flower show judging. And it's important to understand that you have to be prepared and that there is some dedication involved to preparing yourself to become a judge. There is a new vocabulary in flower show work, and all of that is discussed during the classes. Now, we are similar to the other schools in that we have 4 courses, and we divide up what we teach: procedure, design, and horticulture. And it's usually a 2.5 day course. And there are exams involved. The day usually consists of maybe 8 to 10 hours because there are exams at the end. You learn how to do point scoring. We study horticulture. We learn how to judge horticulture. As I said, there are some aspects of the classroom that teach how to grow plants, but most importantly is we teach how to judge horticulture and design. And we use point score sheets that have criteria that enables us to learn and judge fairly. And in design, we learn the principles and elements. Again, we don't teach floral design, but many of the instructors will give you hints on mechanics and help you to understand how a design comes together. The instructors will provide many designs for you to see and will teach accordingly the parts of the criteria that are judged at each show. We provide awards in flower show work. Flower shows are competitive. Doesn't have to be necessarily, but this brings a certain amount of excellence to what is shown in the horticulture and design divisions with procedure. We talk about how to set up a flower show, all the things that are necessary, the schedule, the staging, and what divisions are required. Instructors are all judges. They are accredited instructors in procedure, horticulture, and design. One of the great things about Flower Shows School and all the schools is it brings people together that are interested in similar learning experiences, where there's a lot of sharing that goes on, and it's a wonderful opportunity. And I have to say, personally, that's the best part. There is a lot that goes into becoming a judge, many activities such as entering flower shows, winning ribbons, doing student judging, all of that. And while you're doing that, you meet wonderful garden club people from across the country many times. If you're interested in any of these aspects of flower show work, that's what will bring you to possibly the decision to become a judge. As I said, it's a wonderful opportunity to teach clubs as well, because judging is not just about judging exhibits. The judge also is a mentor and a teacher. We use a couple of books that are important, and every student who attends Flower Show School to become a judge must have these. They're required. The Handbook for Flower Shows and the Horticulture Exhibiting and Judging book. And these both of these have a lot of information. During the course, you will be receiving outlines from each particular instructor on whatever is being taught. The website has a Flower Show School page, and connected to that is our resources page. Those pages are very important to review and look, because you'll find many bits of information there where we talk about the curriculum. As I said, there are 4 courses, and there is a particular curriculum for each. You can find that on the website. The Handbook for Flower Show Schools is downloadable from the website. And also there is a listing there of all the schools that are available. In the next several months through April, we're having about 11 schools across the country. We also, after finishing becoming a judge, you would be going to symposiums as well. And there is a listing on the NGC main page for symposiums, as well as for the schools. Next. There is an exam, as we mentioned, and if you are interested in becoming judge, it would be necessary to take a written exam and a point scoring test. The point scoring is done for each exhibit in a flower show, and there are certain criteria. And in the courses, you learn exactly how to do that.
This is kind of the formula of how you proceed to become a judge.
That's
you take
correct.
the course, you fulfill all the credits, you write a schedule, you take the handbook exam, and then poof, you're a judge, right?
Correct. That's correct. Whether you decide to be a judge or not, it's a wonderful experience for the public to see the beautiful flowers that grow in our gardens and that we often take from our gardens to create beautiful designs.
What do you say to someone that says, I'm not really sure whether I'm ready to take the plunge or not?
Well, it's fine to attend a flower show course with no intention of becoming a judge. You will meet people. You have an opportunity to talk to judges and other garden club members who are there just for educational purposes.
Right, exactly. Actually, have a speaker on who's ready to talk. Leticia Gunn, who's from Florida, who is a brand new judge, and same kind of everything that Jan has described, Leticia has gone through. Tell us a little about your experiences.
So I was basically entered into Flower Show by a neighbor. I had never taken any classes, any design classes, no design study whatsoever, no art classes, nothing like that. And a friend of mine from the garden club just entered me into a flower show without asking permission. She entered me and I happened to win. I won that show, and then after winning various other, then you get a little competitive thing, and I entered more shows, and after winning more shows for design and or horticulture, the local judges started saying, you need to go to flower show school. You need to go to flower show school. And, I don't know that they were I think they thought that it would make me a better designer as well as become, they wanted me to become a flower show judge. And I do believe that the experience did make me a better designer, as a whole. I did become a flower show judge, but while going to school, I learned that I was already applying the principles and elements and attributes of design, and that I just didn't know it. I just wasn't aware of those basic parameters for design. I also, you also learn design types, and you learn there's so much information that you do learn, but in design, those were, particularly, that's what kind of struck me the most. And like I said, I do believe that it did make me a better designer. In horticulture, wow, the nerd in me was very happy to learn scientific nomenclature and all of that. It was I also learned, you learn how to groom plants, and how to just become a better gardener by knowing what you're looking for in your plant and how it's growing. You learn how to enter a plant into a flower show and whatnot, how to properly identify it, and then how to properly judge it, of course. So flower show procedure had taught us all about how to, from start to finish. Like, if you have that handbook, you will know, and if you study it, and you will know how to put on a flower show. That handbook is crucial to learning how to put on a flower show. So if you just want to go through it just to know how to put on a flower show school is where you go for that. And so the whole so the instructors will throw a lot of information at you. Like, a lot. But it is up to you as a student of how much it's up to you to study. And there will be tests. And I can't tell you that the tests were my favorite part. It was very it's a measure of your progress, right? And so whatever it is that you put into in any situation, that's also what you're going to take out of it, correct? I firmly believe in that.
Leticia, and it's Robin, did you feel like you were prepared for the exams when you took them? Did you feel like the material that was covered in class prepared you for the exams?
I'm going to be 1000% honest here. The first course, I did not know what I was getting myself into. And so I did not feel prepared, but guess why that was? Because I did not study. The instructors were awesome. One of them is here. I know that in the audience, I have a couple of the instructors that I did have, and I cannot speak ever more highly of them than they were. But again, it was the first one. I was crazy busy with something else, and I had the first course, I had visitors in the house, and I did not study, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. It is a lot of information. You learn a ton of stuff, and but you need to prepare yourself. You need to study before you go to the course, and again, and get yourself prepared for it, because it is intense, but it is also, I love knowledge. I love learning. I love growing. And if you like any of those things, then this is seriously, it's a big bone to chew on. It was a beautiful, frankly, for me, as a flower show, the flower show school as a whole was a personal growth experience. And I think that out of all of my accomplishments with anything garden club world related, becoming a judge is most definitely one of my most cherished accomplishments. So
I think you answered that. Really, I appreciate the honesty, because I know I walked in not prepared as well. I studied, and I'm happy to say it. I was successful with that first one, but I will tell you, when I ran a flower show school, I made sure everyone understood. You've really got to, this is serious. Read the stuff. Everything, you're given all the material to study from that keeps you, right on top of everything, but you have to study it. And I think that you answered this beautifully, and I think you're here a tribute to going through the program, doing the process, and achieving this wonderful accomplishment. And we look forward to more and more. I'm sure there'll be questions for you later, and I know you're not going far, but we can really go right to Susie Andrego right now to talk about how do you host a school, and What are those steps? Susie?
So I just want to, everything I'm going to say comes from the State Flower Show School chairman, which would be me today. So first I get a request from the State Garden Club or the State Judges Council to host a flower show school. So then it's my job to secure dates and find a venue to host the flower show school. Then after I get that accomplished, I have to secure instructors, which also for design, procedure, and horticulture. It also includes doing their contracts, figuring out their fees, and all the special needs they will have when they come to teach for us. Then I work with the horticulture instructors specifically to decide what horticulture will be studied during that school, what's in season, what we're required by the Judges Handbook to study. Then the State Flower Show School Chair is required to complete all the forms. That includes the before forms and the after forms. It's not a whole lot of forms, but all the forms and the list of approved instructors and the Flower Show School Manual can all be found on the NGC website under Flower Show School Resources. After that, the chair creates a brochure for the school. You need that to be able to advertise your school. Once you've got a brochure and the before forms done, they're submitted to the accrediting chairman for that region. And then the date and the location of our school goes on the NGC website. The school one we just hosted here in Albuquerque in January, we had 3 people from out of state attend school one, which was really nice. Then I work with the school treasurer to determine the cost for the school. That actually has to be done before the brochure. Sorry about that. I've got those backwards. And on average, it takes about 10 new students to be able to hold a school once you figure out the cost. Then in New Mexico, we give judges, no matter where you're from, if you're from our region or around the United States, we give them 50% discount to attend our school and help support the new students and mentor them and have other judges here to answer questions so that the instructor and the flower show school chairman doesn't have to answer all the questions that they have throughout the day. Lunchtime is a great time to network and get some of those questions answered. I will tell you that the average cost in New Mexico to attend a school is about $125 to $150 per school. And that is because we do offset that with inviting the judges. And we have a lot of people who do take the school for information only. We advertise around New Mexico that you don't have to be want to be a flower show school judge to take a flower show school. You can just want the information. You can want to hold a flower show and learn how to do that. It also makes you a better exhibitor. You learn what the judges are looking for when they judge your design or your horticulture that you enter into a flower show. Additional people that are required when you have a flower show school, when you hold one, there's a horticulture assistant. That person assists the horticulture instructor with the horticulture and prepping it and getting it ready for practice point scoring and the point scoring exam. There's also a design assistant. That person helps the design instructor, helps them secure the containers, the flowers. That person also contacts other judges to make designs for the practice point registrar. You need a treasurer. You need a classroom proctor, a point score exam proctor, a written exam proctor, a hospitality person, setup and breakdown people. A lot of times I can get members of just our garden club to come and take the school for information only and help fill those chairmanships. I just want to remind everybody that there is a flower show school manual online at the NGC website under the flower show school. It takes a few people handful of people. Talked about the horticulture assistant, the design assistant. You need a registrar, someone who can take all the registrations, the treasurer to take the money and pay the bills, pay the instructor, pay for the flowers, pay for the venue if you have to. The class, you need several proctors. You need someone in the classroom to proctor. You need a point score exam proctor. You need a written exam proctor. In New Mexico, I actually have them come to my house to take their written exam, and they all sit around my big dining room table, and that works perfectly. You need a hospitality person, and you need somebody to set up and break down. The one thing I wanted to focus on for sure is online at the NGC website under Flower Show School Resources, we have a Flower Show manual. It's very detailed by step checklist actually to help you ensure that you are going to have a very successful flower show school. And if you have questions, there are many, many resources in order to get your questions answered. So,
Susie, thank you. And again, thank you for zooming out to us from New Mexico. We want to talk about how do we encourage new students to join the Flower Show School. Susie's working so hard, and the other school chairs are working so hard to put on. Gina Jogan from Florida, who is an instructor herself. Gina, tell us, how do you encourage students? How do you tell people what to do? What do we do here in Florida? Let's hear what you can share.
I'm going to talk to you about the who, what, where, when, how, and why of floral designing.
Take it away.
All righty. The who, this is for you. That's who. Any number of like-minded people who are interested in learning how to make floral designs. And besides, it's fun learning a new skill. What did Trish say? It was a thrill to learn a new skill and make good friends, as Jan said to us. The program is a wonderful recruitment tool for garden clubs. It's open it to the public. That's where you're going to get your new membership. There may be interested parties who want to know more about flower arranging or about garden clubbing, but it's personal enrichment no matter what or why you take the classes. What we have proposed is an easy step-by-step basic building block program of units that we're going to share with you. It, along with qualified judges who are the instructors, help you to plan and implement a program that will give your attendees the tools, knowledge, verbiage, and skills to become, successful floral designers, hopefully leading them to enter your flower shows and perhaps even showing an interest in becoming judges. Where, when, and how, that information will come later. Why does this program work? The program was developed and implemented because flower show schools do not teach you how to make a design. It only teaches you how to judge it. It works because those attending gain the knowledge of how a design is constructed, how the principles and elements of design can be applied. And I will wager that without knowing and without ever having gone to a design class, you can tell if right off the bat if something's out of balance. You're the one that's in the dentist's office and sees that the picture's crooked on the wall and goes and straightens and sit out. You see that I'm starting to lean over. I'm out of balance. More ways than one. All right. This is balance. This is leaning. Oh my goodness, you do it. It works because students will learn many of the same things that will be talked about and taught in a flower show school. The information you have taken out of this program will then click. It'll fall into place. You will have heard this before. It'll click in your mind when you sit in classroom and talk about balance and contrast and dominance and proportion and rhythm and scale as an example. It works because this is something, call it Cliff Notes. It's a preschool. It's for designs. Your attendees will find they're ahead of the game when it comes time to enter a flower show or to enter the school. You won't be lacking in when it comes to become successful or at least competent and confident as a designer. We want to have some knowledge base when we go to start a class or a new skill. Think about having to ask your grandson or granddaughter about how to use your new iPhone. I did. I want to be ahead of the game. I don't want to have to go to gray hair school. It works because the classroom setting for these design programs is not intense. It's not like in a flower show school. It's much more relaxed and there's no exam. The student actually receives on-the-job training because you're going to be making a design. That's part of the program. It's part of the workshop. I don't want someone to judge something that I've done if they haven't worked hard enough to learn how to put things together. There are programs suggested for you to take workshops in horticulture, workshops in design, go to programs, immerse yourself in what you're interested in. We'll talk more about this later, and I will be happy to answer questions. If you're interested, let me know.
Thank you, Gina. I think we wanted to make clear for people, a couple of people asked right away, there definitely is something that there is special that goes on in our state, Florida, in NCA, I think New Jersey, several states have design schools.
Many of them. Yes.
And they are open, are they not?
They are open, and what I'm trying to do right now is standardize them, put them together as one unit, and have that available.
It's going to be wonderful, but I think it's especially. I know we're going to answer some of the questions later, but this is a really wonderful topic we're talking about, because I know there are a lot of people that are looking forward to and understand that going to flower show school, you learn how to be a judge. Design schools are available to learn design. Yes, your point is so well taken. Everyone has sort of said those words, principles and elements. What does that mean? It's, as you said, when you're leaning, when you're doing, you know, a lot of these things already. If there's light, if the line follows, you know a lot of these things.
Absolutely.
But we are making sure that people can attend and join us learning design. Part of it is you do practice doing it when you're doing a design for a show. And I just want to also emphasize over and over again, we've said this throughout, go to the National Garden Club website. Look to see where shows are. Go to your neighboring state, whatever state you're in. If you don't think there's a flower show nearby, go look on and you will see. We're going to answer all these questions in chat later on, because I know I want to thank Gina and get right to our next speaker, because we've got questions for you, Darlene Newell.
Zoom is a wonderful option for anybody interested in attending a part of a flower show school or symposium from the comfort of their home. I have a short PowerPoint to share with you, and we'll go over some of those details.
Yeah.
When you have a Zoom opportunity, you have choices to make. You can either go to the traditional classroom and enjoy the comfort of the different setting and seeing people on a personal level, or you can stay home. And the advantages of doing that would be you're comfortable, you have the right temperature, and maybe your puppy's sitting on your lap while you're listening. You have less travel and expenses. You don't have to go anywhere to learn. You receive your exam grade immediately after you take the exam, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. And you can do a makeup class. Susie just talked about having Flower Show School 1 in Albuquerque last month. Perhaps there's somebody that didn't pass flower show procedure. All they have to do is go on the NGC website and look at flower show procedure or Flower Show School 1 and see if anybody's offering procedure by Zoom. Here what will be covered with the Zooming. And flower show procedure, it's going to be almost exactly the same as what you would do in a classroom, but in your home. There's going to be a lecture, a discussion between the students and the instructor, questions and answers, and also you will take an exam. For the allied topic, there'll be a lecture, also discussion, and again, questions and answers. So a lot of this follows the same format. We're simply doing it in a different setting. What do you need to do to have a flower show by procedure? The first thing you do is talk to your accrediting person, and she's going to ask you, do you have an experienced technical advisor or administrator lined up? This is very important that the person be experienced. Also, have you engaged a Zoom accredited instructor? Unfortunately, not all instructors have applied to be a Zoom instructor, and we hope more will be doing that in the near future. An overview of the Zoom flower show procedure. We certainly follow the NGC handbook, all the rules and regulations, and right now we're limiting it to 25 students and 20 auditors. If you're wondering what an auditor is, that's just somebody extra that's interested in seeing maybe how it's done, any information about that. Each person has to have audio and video capabilities. They have to be able to use the chat feature because that's how we ask questions and answer questions. And there's a polling feature, and this takes the place of the evaluation. We're trying to stop all the mailing going on and to save some time, and this is very helpful. The exam for flower show procedure is 25 multiple choice questions. And the computer grades this. The student takes the exam, saves it, and then sends it. And it goes to the instructor and to the flower show school chairman. The computer grades it instantly. So instead of waiting up to a month to find out whether you passed a course, you will know immediately. Of course, those grades are verified by the instructor after the computer does their thing. So you want to have a flower show procedure by Zoom, and you're the state flower show chairman or the local chairman. Here are your duties, and the ones that I have underlined are in addition because of Zoom. Certainly, you always receive the outlines, exams, and point score forms, but now you also have a video presentation sent to you. And I say video instead of PowerPoint because there's many ways you can share that information. I like to use PowerPoint, but it is not a requirement. The flower show chairman is going to send everything that she's received to the technical administrator. We want to have some redundancy in this system. If I'm talking, and this did happen when I was doing this in New Jersey, my internet stopped. Well, they had my notes, they had my PowerPoint, and they were able to proceed until my internet came back on. This chairman is going to send the outlines to the students just like they always do. And the chairman's going to attend orientation. That an orientation is a time that is set aside before the course that everybody attends. They learn how to log on, how to Zoom, or how to use the chat feature, how to do polling, how to do the exam. So more duties for this chairman is she's going to attend the entire presentation, which is common. That's nothing new. Going to make the introductions. She's going to discuss again how to answer, save, and send that exam and poll. Again, some redundancy, some reminding so that everybody's on the same page. And she's going to tell the instructor how many students, like she always does. Well, that's what the flower show school chairman does. What does she not have to do? First of all, she doesn't have to mail the exams to the instructor. You know, once you have a school and the instructor leaves, after the students are finished with the exam, she has to use priority mail. And I've just looked that up. It's $9.65 now, but I'm going to round that to $10 because the math is easier for me. So she's going to mail the exams to the instructor. That's $10. She's going to receive those exams, the graded exams from the instructor, and the instructor has been given money or an envelope with that. So that's the second $10 for priority mailing. Then she's going to mail the top, middle, and bottom scoring exams to the accrediting person. You don't have to do that with Zoom because you can send the program to her. The recording, the exams, everything can be done virtually. And then she doesn't have to mail the graded exams to the students. So what does that value? Certainly time and about $40 in money. Zoom instructors. So far, there's 3, Barbara May, Lynn Frank, and myself. And we welcome other instructors and encourage them to participate in this. What we do is send the outline, exams, and point score forms, just like we always do, but also the presentation to the accrediting person for approval. And after the approval, all that goes to the flower show school chairman. The instructors And this is how I teach. Every instructor is a little bit different. But after each section on the outline, I stop my PowerPoint. I turn it off and get all the students' faces up there. And remember, I have their names right beside their face, so I can call them then individually. And if they don't have questions for me, what I do is look at the exam questions that pertain to that section I just finished, and I start asking questions. I'll say, Susie, there are 6 requirements for a flower show. Can you name one? And so she names one, and then I look at another student and call on them. So there's a lot of going back and forth. It's not a passive exercise. A whiteboard, and I have on my little picture there is a green board because I couldn't find a whiteboard, but this is what the instructor can use on the Zoom program to write things on for clarification or to use anyway as a teaching tool. The technical advisor or administrator, this is so important that this person be experienced. They have to have great knowledge of computer systems, and their computer has to be large enough in storage to be able to do the recordings. She's going to send the Zoom invitation to all the participants. All the students will get that, and any auditors. And she's going to conduct the orientation with all participants. This is where the students are going to learn how to sign in, chat, poll, all of those things, and do the exam too. During the presentation, this administrator is going to be right on the spot with looking at the chat window, just like Robin did here. She's going to refer questions to the instructor, perhaps at the end of a section or however they have decided to do that. Signing in is something the student has to learn to do, and the administrator is going to start the program 15 minutes or open the Zoom 15 minutes before so she can answer any questions and make sure everybody is on board. She's going to record the presentation and the chat transcripts and send them to the Flower Show School chairman and the instructor. So you're the student now. What's responsibilities do you have? First, you have to have an adequate computer. You have to be able to see and to hear and to respond through the chat. You're going to attend the orientation. And if you're not familiar with those features, you will learn in the orientation. Then you're going to demonstrate back how to do all these functions so there's no hiccup at the end. You're going to receive the outline 6 weeks prior to the presentation, just like you always do. And you're going to sign in using your name and your state 15 minutes before the presentation. This really helps the instructor, not just for attendance, but it helps the instructor keep in contact with each and every student. More things for the students. You're going to have that trial exam. Sometime after the orientation, you're going to be sent a 1 or 2 question exam, and it's no big deal with the answer. The idea is so you know how to receive it, respond to it, save it, and send it. You're going to participate in that orientation meeting. You're going to complete the exam 15 minutes after the presentation. You're going to submit a fee, whatever the state is charging for that registration. How do you get credit? If I'm in West Virginia and I have failed Flower Show Procedure 1, how do I attend another one and let the credential person in West Virginia know that I did that? Well, you use the Form 18 found on the NGC website under Flower Show Resources. There's a part that you send to your state credential person saying that you want to take this class, and that your state credential person sends it to the credential person or the Flower Show School chairman in the state where the Zoom is going to be held. Questions on Flower Show Procedure, and I think you wanted questions at the last, so we won't pause here.
I think we probably will have them right away. I'm just going to make a comment. I'm lucky enough, I see a lot of people put in the chat that they've had Darlene as an instructor. I've had Darlene as an instructor for allied topics over Zoom, and I know there's a couple. I know Thea McGinnis is on or was on, and she was in that as well. It was wonderful. It was well done. It was easy. All those things, even though we're very familiar with how the computer works, we all were good participants and got on and did all that. And it was a great learning experience. And I have to say, we have a great bunch of instructors on. Lynn Frank was kind enough to join us if there are questions. I know Lynn was great to answer them. Thea's saying Darlene's my hero. We have a lot of my heroes on with us today. Barbara May is also a member of Jan's and mine club down in Florida, Wellington. I told you our president's on. Maria Wolf. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you for joining the National Garden Club Membership Monday on Flower Show School. We had a ton of questions on this month's workshop. The biggest question is, where can I get more information? And the answer is www.gardenclub.org, or ask your state flower show chairman how you can attend a school, host a school, or find out more about Flower Show School near you. This has been a production of National Garden Clubs Incorporated.